Well, this is quite the intro screen, isn't it? Choose your language. Pick your fighter. So, you might be surprised by this video, this game, because some of you were expecting Visage, the horror game that came out recently. I made a mistake. So I put out a picture showing my schedule, and that was on it. But it's not anymore, because I realized it's early access, and you only get one blind playthrough of a game. So I don't want to waste my first impression blind playthrough on a not finished game. So, I don't know, maybe when it's done, we'll get like a random horror game playthrough in the middle of next year, or maybe it'll just be a game I play next Halloween. But it's currently in early access, and so I don't want to do that. I'll play the early access version of like a multiplayer game or a sandbox game or something, but I'm not going to do the multiplayer. I'm not going to do the early access something with a campaign, because then I've just permanently lost the blind playthrough at that point. And you guys are reaping the benefits of that right now with Subnautica. The fact that I waited until it was done before I played it, and so I'm like one of the rare blind playthroughs because everyone jumped in on the original hype wave when it wasn't actually done yet. So anyway, we're playing Cayne instead. I think it's pronounced that way. C-A-Y-N-E. It's a isometric point-and-click horror game starring a protagonist that is a 9-month-old pregnant woman, and they want your baby. That's the premise. That's not deeply distressing at all. Was that the logo of each localization team down there? Just a heads up, you can check out this game via the link in the description. This game is free, so you can just hop right in and play right now if you want to check it out. There's a lot of really specific options here. Like, the text scale is listed by the point size of the font. That's rare. That's different. Now, changing the individual channels may alter the game experience. Yeah, I don't want to do that necessarily. They already have voice louder than everything else. Big fan of that. Good choice. Maybe pump it up a little bit too.
No.
Ooh, that's a little grainy, isn't it? A little odd sounding. I just want to make sure that the subtitles are on, but maybe maybe they're always on because it's point and click. Let's get in there.
I don't want a child. I've never wanted one. I had a plan, and this wasn't part of it.
Relax. I promise this won't hurt a bit.
How would he know? Thanks.
Just a few more items to check off, and we can start. Name and ID?
Hadley, 14-0-31-21-09.
And the procedure is being paid for by a third party?
Yes.
No explanation needed. No family listed?
No family. It's just me.
A special order here. Ah, that's for me. Right then. Let's begin. Nurse.
Now, count back from 10.
10, 9.
You'll be just fine, sweetie.
8, 7.
Well, hello, Big Daddy. Looks like the bouncer model.
Oh God. Where am I? What did you do to me?
You must be awake during the extraction procedure.
Please, please.
After medical delivery, you must
Please.
What do I do? Do I do something?
Please, help me. Please let me go.
I don't have a mouse. Am I supposed to have a mouse? Am I playing right now? I can't tell. What in the world? This is very Soma-like.
Fetal extraction pre-check.
What's happening? What are you doing? Answer me! God damn it! Fucking answer me! What are you gonna do to me?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Grab the scalpel, I guess. Hi, that's a scalpel. Get off. Get off the bed. Bedding. How do I, oh, Jesus. From extraction arm, figure and suit. I need to cut them, right, with the scalpel? Scalpel. Yeah. Do I click on that, then on him? Okay, I'm holding the scalpel. What can I scalpel? The cloud detritus of previous mechanical procedures and hum of a drone concealed servo motors accompanies each lurching step. State-of-art specimen retrieval biotech. The host's welfare is irrelevant. Jesus Christ. A blank screen is smudged with some sort of gelatinous residue that smells of ammonia. We just hopped right into there. You can't just get out of bed? Like, you can't roll over? Shit, data records. How do I use the data records? I don't know how to play. The game just dropped me in. Shit. Drainage pipe cover. What do I do? Am I playing right now? I'm lost already? I didn't think this was possible, but I literally am like... I can't tell if I'm supposed to do something. Is she about to get killed by him? Like, clicking on nothing does anything. I would like to not die, preferably. So I'm wondering what happens, because like this is straight away like immediately Soma-like, where we went into a medical facility in a normal, pristine situation. Ah! I guess I lost? How do I play the game? You didn't tell me how to play the game. You gotta tell me something. Mix scalpel.
I don't think so.
I have a scalpel. Can I not use stained bedding? Traction arm. Floor. I must have lost, right? It just contains the medical records of one patient, my name. They give it to the figure in the suit so that he puts it in the thing. Am I gonna have to use a walkthrough to figure out how to do the first action of the game so I can figure out like the stepping stones of how to start playing? Yeah. Take the records. Take this knife in the face. Wait, it worked that? I thought I tried that already. I could have sworn I tried that already.
I'm sorry. Shit. I didn't have
Complete. Subject no longer present. Fetal extraction cancelled.
Jesus. Still pregnant.
Will be remembered for
Fetal extraction. This is all because of the baby.
The voice actress is going all in on it.
Pregnant. I am pregnant. This isn't right.
Please remain calm. After the removal of your womb, you will
Yeah, how pregnant was she earlier? Was she less pregnant?
will be remembered for generations to come.
I wonder. Was she... I didn't get a great look at it because it kind of went fast at the beginning, but was she getting an abortion at the beginning? Like, is this... Like, no, you're keeping the baby, we're forcing you to be pregnant. Is that the situation? And it could go either way. It could be, if that's what they're going for, it could be read as, like, a political statement on the level of, like, you know, force, like, the states that try to force you not to get abortions and stuff like that, and put 1,000 barriers in your way. Or if it can go the other way of, like, this is, like, her emotional break of, like, her like motherhood instincts might be taking over at the last second and rejecting the abortion, and she's freaking out about her own decision or something. I could have sworn the first thing I tried was to stab him with a knife. I don't know how. I don't know. Alright, well, now I probably know how the controls work. That's a rough way to try to figure out the controls from scratch. So you left click on it, then you right click to get rid of the arm. There we go. Can I put this in here? How about that one? That one's green. No? Okay, let's just click on it. Happy Mother's Day! Oh, look at all these old school connections down here. Diagnostics. Software updated. Failure to extract uterus. Ugh. Recalibration in progress. Successful of remover.
This is crazy.
Oh.
This is batshit crazy. I am crazy.
Those are a bunch of previous cases where they successfully removed the uterus without tearing the endometrium. Failure to extract uterus. Failure to extract uterus. Extraction in progress. Ugh. Alarming.
You might prefer to think of this as a bad dream. You must be awake during the extraction procedure. Please
Log 988 of 988.
after the removal
Dr. Adams, Joseph Bueno.
your selfless
Bunch of names. They have different levels of clearance. Hank's at the bottom. Bueno and Boland are... Oh, actually, Boland's actually at the bottom too. Bueno's in the middle, and Dr. Adams is up top.
You must be awake during
They do extractions. Hank does extractions.
after the
So I probably just killed Hank.
you will drift back to sleep. Your
Calibrate servos complete. Load protocols complete. Pre-scan target routed to scanner terminal. Engage?
Error. No valid target selected.
please remain calm.
These are all controls for the arm. Okay.
You must be awake during the extraction procedure.
So we have to escape a horror scenario while we ourselves are very, very pregnant. That drainage pipe cover. The cover is all but welded to the floor with putrid surgical sludge. Dried blood and amniotic fluids stipple the plastic sheets like mold. Ugh. What a pleasant scenario we have ourselves in.
You will drift back to sleep.
So we'll scan a host.
Will be remembered.
Arm scanner control. Valid gestate targets only.
Scan complete. Subject no longer present. Fetal extraction cancelled.
Procedure. Please remain calm. After the removal
Units programmed to scan a host for viable specimen. And probably leave, right? Is this a walkway over here? No? Oh wow. So my number's printed on my wrist. Property of Cayne Corporation. Number. Something 38485 This is medical records for patient 140312109. So that's a different patient. Those are not my numbers. Wonder what the significance of that is.
After the removal of your wound, you will drift back to sleep. Your selfless gift to science will be remembered for generations to come. Please remain calm.
I guess I can't do anything with that. Black metal struts. Holographic display. Can I go look at that? Display shows the current operational status of the fetal extraction system. I must be able to use this, right? Otherwise, what else is it for? Can I access my inventory while I'm in here? I cannot.
After the removal of your wound, you will drift back to sleep. Your selfless gift to science will be remembered for generations to come.
I don't see anything to click on around here besides the exit area. The scanner terminal. This game really drops you in the deep end, huh? I barely know how to control the game and we're just kind of in. Is there any other interaction to be found here? Yeah, it's just that. Which I can't press that and be there at the same time.
Fetal extraction cancelled.
But at the same time, I really don't think I want to be over there either.
You will drift back to sleep. Your selfless gift to science will be remembered for generations to come. Please remain calm.
Hey, there's a quick save. I think that the floor has pads on it? It seems to be padded, not tile. She's also saying horrible things like, please try to think of this as a bad dream. You must be awake during the extraction. Your sacrifice will be remembered for generations to come, and a bunch of other just total bullshit said by a child, because it's meant to be calming when a child says it. This is the only interaction I can do. Can I run over into that?
Scan complete.
It worked!
Subject in place. Fetus ready for extraction.
Okay, so I've readied it for extraction. Can I activate the arm now, while I'm not in range to get attacked by it?
Begin womb extraction process.
Breathe, Hadley. Breathe.
What the fuck is this structure? It pulled him up into the ceiling? Does that normally happen, or was it stuck?
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I'd say so. We should probably get out of here. The empty void. This is a really pretty game. The details are pretty great. It's probably a pre-rendered environment. Definitely gives off the impression of like those old isometric pre-rendered games, or Pillars of Eternity 1, I guess. So I think it might have tried to extract his womb, which didn't exist. And then it got stuck on it because of all his armor. And then it just kind of went up with it. And then everything exploded. Real big mess. Whatever's down there, it can't be much worse than up here. Are you thinking of going down there? Wait, are you thinking of going down there? Did you just fall off and die? Or was that good or bad? Oh, you fell right on the baby.
And to think a fall could have been a good thing for me a few months ago.
Oh my god.
Uncalled for, Hadley. Funny, but uncalled for.
Why, you're going straight for abortion jokes, huh? Okay. Yeah, if I just fell, I would have skipped this whole process. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that was a bad fall. Sharp bladed pincer. There's evidently a quick save, so I'm just gonna use that every now and then. Glint. Light bounces off the contorted metal item. Oh, my scalpel. My scalpel's been mangled. Sharp bladed pincer. Surgical blade bifurcated. Oops.
Reach.
You can't reach, huh? It's also on fire. Surgical grade bifurcated blade is still attached to what's left of the horrific appendage. Oh, it's the arm that rips out your organs. Flames and smoke lick around the scalded mass of metal and flesh. The word mother is clearly scratched into an exposed aluminum surface. They wrote mother on the claw. Conveniently twisted steel girder protrudes from the level above. Conveniently. Oh, I can go up there, apparently. Via the overhang. Okay, but what's over here? Exposed insulation. Dripping condensation in this duct has rusted through the metal plating here, exposing some of the insulation. Then go this way? Or do I need to just get back up? I don't think we're going that way. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the scalpel. Try the overhang, I guess. Man. He's really mobile for a 9-month pregnant person. That's honestly kind of going further in the idea of, like, is this a dream for me? Like, I wonder if in the moment of having, like, an abortion or something, she's having, like, this nightmare where she's intensely defensive of her baby because, like, this evil organization wants it. A personal diary lies idle. A PDA. Oh, there's a whole bunch of these. There's a whole bunch of these, okay. So March 23rd, Hank. Alice is sick. Clumps of her hair were falling out while I brushed it before her bedtime story last night. And this morning she was listless and pale and leaky. Mother says the food in the facility is bad. And just to be safe, I've started feeding her protein powder from my own stash. But I think it's something in her IV lines. We pump a lot of unregulated experimental chemicals through the hosts. And maybe their blood has become contaminated. I need to find a new source. Perhaps a sample from the brood. My sister's health trumps getting busted snooping around Karen's menagerie again. And I need to resupply my brood gas canisters anyway. Besides, it's an opportunity for scientific research. Like Dr. Adams would quip. You know what I'm saying? Oh, really? You know what I'm saying? We're doing that pun? Carl Sagan? Okay. I don't get it, but I laugh anyway. My mother says I need to laugh at jokes or people will think I'm creepy. I've decided to make a list of behavioral prompts and appropriate responses because this social stuff can get complicated. I get that part, but why did you say like Dr. Adams would quip if you don't know what he means? That's not why people do that, but I guess he might be a sociopath or a psychopath, because he straight up, like his mom straight up is like, here's these reactions you're supposed to do so people don't think you're creepy, because he doesn't emotionally interface with people or something. Seems to be is implied by that. March 24th. Behavioral prompts and appropriate responses. Laugh if someone makes a joke. Blame Joseph if somebody else complains that body parts are going missing from the bio-waste disposal units, or blame one of the Cayne techs instead. 3. April 8th. Lucy is responding to the new treatment. Lucy is Alice. Was Alice. I think the name suits her better, since she got her new face last week. She just looks like a Lucy now. We had an intern once named Lucy. She had the same freckles on her nose. That was before, though. The older me, when I was much older. The other me, when I was much older. It's confusing. I've asked Dr. Adams about that, and he explained that because of the accident, my memories are not always reliable. So it's possible I dreamed about the part about her subsequent vivisection. But the screams and tears, the way her organs gleamed in the surgical lights seemed so real. And more than a bit erotic, I'll admit. Okay, he's got issues. One interesting, if somewhat unexpected consequence of the new blood transfusion source is that Lucy now excretes a mucosal substance, not entirely dissimilar in effect to the brood gas. Oral ingestion certainly produces a comparable analgesic response. I've started scraping it off her skin and storing it in specimen jars because Mother says licking my own sister is improper. 3. Don't lick your sister. Whatever. But now I can carry it around with me and use it when the pain becomes too much. So it's also more practical this way. Wow. There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, we don't know the world I came from very well, but it seemed idealistic. The 5 seconds you get to see of it, like where it's like it's beautiful and clean and blue and clean. It seems like the perfect future where everything's perfect. And now everything's just completely gone to shit. And so it's hard to say what's going on here. Is this a nightmare escape like in Soma, where well, it wasn't really a nightmare in Soma, but he thought it was a nightmare. It was definitely a difference of reality going on a bit in Soma. Is that what we're going for here, or is or Silent Hill? Like, is this a fake reality that I'm now in that reflects my own guilt or stresses or fears in some way, or was I literally kidnapped? Is what I'm wondering. Is which way they're going here. Is this a literal or non-literal thing? Because if otherwise, yeah, then I was put under while I was pregnant, then kidnapped, and then put into this nightmare place, which means that would mean that the pretty place that I was kidnapped from ain't so great if it's apparently a front for this giant operation for kidnapping pregnant women and ripping their uteruses out when they're 9 months pregnant via a nightmare claw and all that. The claw was judged by whether or not it can whether or not it can remove the uterus without causing a tear. I'm guessing the tear is not in the woman. I'm guessing the tear they're trying to avoid is in like the placenta and the uterus and whatnot. I don't have great terminology knowledge here, but I'm talking the baby bubble being kept in one piece is, I assume, their priority, because they talked about not caring about the damage to the woman. And Hank was running this, and as you'd expect from somebody who was killing me, he doesn't really care about this. So he's like the perfect employee for this. He's also got a gas mask thing going on. Wonder what's up with that. Let's keep going down how creepy this guy is, I guess.